Welcome to Lydian. Hi everyone, and welcome to this episode of Just Jackie. So today I have Dan Brown with us. So Dan Brown is the CEO and Senior Financial Planner at Coastal Advice Group. So over the past 6 years, Dan has gone from having one location of Coastal Advice Group in Newcastle to now having 4 additional locations dotted up and down the New South Wales coastline. He's also founded a recruitment agency which specialises in the financial services industry, and he's also created a financial hub for everyday Australians where they can learn to become more financially literate. So welcome, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, Dan?
It's an interesting question because obviously the default is to always talk about what you do. So I'm not going to do that because you'll do that.
Yeah.
But I guess reflecting, I think, probably the easiest way I could say it is I'm a highly driven individual and driven to succeed, struggle to slow down at times, but really focus at the moment on that work-life. I call it work-life integration. So making sure that my kids are the first and foremost focus in my life at the moment rather than the business has been in previous years. But yeah, happily married to my wife, Julie, 2 kids, Isaac and Isabella, and really just love being part of their lives the best I can. So that's generally most afternoon a sporting activity or training for one of those sporting activities. So that's probably where I am personally right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. Do you find that COVID kind of triggered that balance, searching more for that work-life balance?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, we've struggled or wrestled with that in the business, and how do we do that for our people? And I've got to try and be the leader of that. So first COVID, we were renovating a very small house, so we got to know each other really well. Second COVID, we had lockdown. We had a huge house that we bought closer to the beach. So lots of time swimming in the ocean and we used to get out and have exercise periods and all that. So yeah, it's been definitely getting to be part of it. Probably it's been a blessing in disguise for me for COVID. We got to change the way we do business. We got to change the way we live our life, and probably made me appreciate that we can do both. It doesn't just have to. That first 4 or 5 years was full on 60, 70 hours a week, and I don't have to do that anymore, which is really cool.
Yeah, wow.
I have a general manager who has to do that, not me.
Now you have to work on his work-life balance.
Yeah, at the moment he's like, I'm burnt out. And I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good. Look what he's
And so can you tell us what your job entails exactly? There's a lot there to cover.
Yeah. So probably depending on each day. So at times I'll still jump in and do some client work, but it's very rare. At the moment I'm doing some just to train and mentor our team members. And if there's any complicated jobs, I'll take it on because I feel that that's something that still gets me out of bed. But the day-to-day stuff is really running the business. We have 34 people in Australia working on the business or in the business. And we're actively looking to acquire businesses up and down the coast at the moment. So M&A activity, from discussions to looking at how we can, yes, they're in or no, they're not, through to the due diligence, through to contracts for sale, through to finance. But the reality is I sort of came up with a motto, and I don't know if it resonates, so I'm going to test it for the first time in the external world. But really I'm focused on 3 things, which is grow our business, grow our people, and in turn I'll grow myself. And I'm a big believer of that. What we did 20 years ago or 10 years ago, 2 days ago, we continue to have that growth focus. Things seem to just play out. So if I show up that way and really engage, and I interviewed our whole team last week in one-on-one meetings to learn from them and where they want to achieve. And that was a taxing process, but highly, highly valuable. So that's what I mean. Practically, that's what I do on a day-to-day basis. Figure that out, and everyone seems to win.
Yeah,
including our clients. I forgot that. The client is a great experience if I continue to develop our people. So,
yeah. Well, if you're working on growing your business, your people, and personally, that's just going to end up in a beautiful cycle where it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So once you've got the foundations or the solid platform for growing each 3 of those, naturally that cycle will just continue, right? So I'm the first to say that I love that new motto. I think you should trademark it.
I will. But the problem I get is that by the time I go through that process, I would have thought up another idea. So
yeah. Yeah, creative minds, hey? So you as an individual, but also Coastal Advice Group, have won numerous awards over the years. Can you tell us which award is your favourite and why?
Well, good question. Well, I think that the process of being nominated is really cool to, someone externally to see that what you're trying to achieve, and, we have a really clear vision and values and culture that we want to uphold. But the nomination and just receiving that seems to be cool, because I never seem to be able to get from finalist to award winning very often. But I thought about this, and I think the most important part for us, for me personally, is why, and that's similar to the last topic, which is growing our people. Like, a big believer of growing from within. Every time we've hired people externally to come into the business, particularly in that advisor role, we really struggle to be a cultural alignment. It doesn't mean they're not good people or good experience or good advisors. It just seems to be better to grow from within. So 2 of our advisors, which I'm highly passionate about, female advisors, I think they're, sorry even to myself, but I think they're better. There's not many of them in financial planning. So true believer in promoting from within or growing from within. They learn our culture, they learn everything. And 2 of our advisors, Rosie and Christy, have won individual acknowledgement awards, and I get a better buzz out of that than anything else. So I'd have to say, I know it might be a little bit whatever, that's what everyone would say. But the reality is, they won both Development Award and Rising Star Awards. And I think, and, they're not, I wouldn't say the younger demographic, but definitely come from within the business and learnt our way. Yeah. And seeing them evolve, and then for them to get that accolade just gives them so much more than what the business awards that we've won or been nominated for. So that's probably the best buzz I get.
Wow, I was not expecting that answer at all, saying that it was someone else's award. That is so cool. I love that. I really love that. So after building Coastal Advice Group over the past 6 years, from having the 1 location to now having 5 locations all up, what would be your biggest takeaway so far?
Well, firstly, I think there's a few, it's sort of entwined. So I'll go, first of all, it's lots of hard work. So for anyone starting or thinking they can aspire to that, you have to work hard, you have to sacrifice income to keep growing your business. It's a long journey, but the reward at the end of it it's awesome. I get to basically learn now what I could do and apply it and see if it works. And that's the creative part in me. I can write content, I can produce content, but seeing things, learning it, reading books, and then I read all the time and say, well, what if we tried this, and what could it do? How does it develop the business, our people, or myself? But yeah, probably the lessons have been lots of hard work. I focus on that we only get 1 good day a week. So there's lots of bad things happen in business or challenges, if you like. So 1 good day a week, we celebrate the 1 good day because there's 6 that aren't so good. And the culture is paramount. And, we had a period where we sort of went round, I'd call it no man's land, where, the reflecting point was the revenue wasn't growing. We weren't really growing, and just meant we had to get new people. So, sometimes we don't have the right people in the right seat. So we had to move some people on, and we brought some people in, and the business has flourished since then. So ultimately, it's a bit cliche, but, having the right team and people that have got better skills in other areas than me. I only have a few things that I'm good at. The rest of it I need other people to do. So bringing in the right team, that's probably been the takeaways, and being prepared to invest not only in them, giving them your time, but giving them time to get on their feet and run and understand what we're trying to achieve. So
yeah. What's really interesting for me about what you just said was, when the business isn't growing and isn't bringing in as much revenue as what you would maybe projected or would hoped for, instead of just, digging your heels in and saying, no, this is how we do it, this is how we've always done, you've actually taken the scarier route and you've said, well, no, we're going to throw even more money at this and, get rid of some people and bring in some new ones. And it's that movement during those hard times, which is the scariest, but you are a testament to it being, it does work out sometimes if you're smart about it and strategic.
Yeah, and it's not that those people, you have to move them on, and you can do it. And I think we did it diligently, and the right way, if you want to call it that. But the reality is they've got skill sets that will be really good in other businesses. So it wasn't that we had a falling out. It just said, like, it's just, I need something else. I'm sorry. And it's blah, blah, blah. And most businesses, so you talk about statistics that 80% of businesses will fail in the first 5 years, and those that succeed, only 80% will make it through the next 5 years. So it's really challenging to be a small business, and you can throw in COVID, lockdowns, all the things we've had to battle through the last few years. The businesses that succeed, in my view, and I don't want to blow air up my own backside, but I will just for this one little bit, which is that we continue to invest and not take the route of, we'll just put more money in it. We'll fix the problem by hiring more people. I've been a big believer of always challenging that status quo. How can we do it differently? What does everyone else think? How do we go, and focus on 90 days instead of 90-day focus areas, all those things, and keep evolving the business, focused on ensuring that the client's always getting the best possible outcome or experience. And how do we take what's learned from, we go overseas and study tours and learn from the best around the world. So we should always be attempting to improve or enhance the outcome of our business, our people, and I think that's been probably a part of our secret to success.
That's amazing advice. And so can I ask, why do you choose to partner with Lydian?
Well, many times in the past where I've made mistakes in business, and that's sometimes your biggest learnings, is trying to be everything to everyone. So we want to build a niche. We don't have to be everything to everyone. We don't have to do legal. We don't have to be a mortgage broker. We don't have to be an accountant. I want to say that we do financial advice and we nail it every time. And if you want a good advisor, come see us. As in with mortgage lending, what we sort of identified, every time we tried to, we've tried in the past of doing it in-house, and it just didn't work. And the reason is they have different skill sets that require a whole lot of range of skills and knowledge to be able to benefit the client journey or experience. And so with Lydian, and our experience has been awesome so far. All the clients are raving about their, the outcomes they're getting, is that they're really good at lending. So use Lydian. And then the partnership was, well, we could do it ourselves or partner with Chris and the team, and it's so far so good. So that's probably the drivers to stay. Well, we're really good at financial advice. Come to us, and if you need lending, which many of our clients do, well, we'll find you the right outcome. Speak with our preferred partner.
Awesome. That's, really nice to hear. We love that our partners are happy to be within the Lydian family. So we're so grateful to have you guys. And one last question. What is your go-to karaoke song?
I've been thinking about this one. So I could give a real serious one. So firstly, I was going to give one of my mate, I should give him a shout out. They have a band called Trip Fandino. You can listen to them on Spotify. They're really good.
Oh, wow.
I reckon I'd sing one of their songs, but again, no one would know it. So I think it has to be my favourite song of all time, which is Paradise City by Guns N' Roses.
Nice.
I reckon I've sung that pretty much loudly, poorly in the car many times over the last 25 years. And now they're touring Australia soon. So, I think that's it. My daughter tried to tell me, what's a Taylor Swift or something? I'm like, I can't say that.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor Swift or something like that.
Taylor Swift. You can say whatever you want to say. We just want the truth. And if it's Taylor Swift, we're going to love you for that, Dan.
Okay, Taylor Swift. I didn't want to say it. I thought of all this judgment.
Well, on that note, Dan, thank you so much for joining us. And so you've got offices in Sydney, Central Coast, Port Macquarie, Byron Bay, and Newcastle. So have I missed anywhere? They're the 5 locations?
That's it for the moment. Yeah, our goal is sort of to really own the space between the Central Coast and the Gold Coast. We want to stay coastal. We want to stay regional. And as the big providers have left those areas and the population hopefully continues to evolve up the coast from the CBD locations, as that's our mantra, that's our go-to. And, we're having a lot of success, and hopefully we can continue.
Awesome. And if anyone wants to look you up, where can we find you?
Oh, that's a great question. Probably for me personally, you can go through LinkedIn or through any of our website, but the best one's the Coastal Advice Group website. Our whole team's on there. We run individual brands for each location, specifically for the benefit of marketing and Google. But the best one is Coastal Advice Group.
Awesome. Well, Dan, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No problems. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Dan. Bye.
Okay.